Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're listening to the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any selection using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Language structure in discourse analysis. In discourse analysis, language structure refers to the way linguistic elements are organized and patterned to create meaning in communication. This involves examining various levels of language, including syntax, morphology, phonology, semantics, and pragmatics, and understanding how these elements function within larger units of discourse, such as conversations, written texts, and other communicative events. 1. Key components of language structure. Syntax. Syntax is the set of rules that governs the arrangement of words in sentences. In discourse analysis, understanding syntactic structures helps to analyze how different sentence constructions contribute to the coherence and flow of discourse. Analysts look at sentence types, declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory sentences and their functions in discourse. Clause relations. How main and subordinate clauses are connected to convey complex ideas. Syntactic variation. How different syntactic choices reflect stylistic and functional variations in discourse. Morphology. Morphology involves the study of word formation and structure. Discourse analysts examine morphological elements to understand how words are created and used in context. This includes inflectional morphemes, changes to a word to express different grammatical categories, e.g., tense, number, case. Derivational morphemes, prefixes and suffixes that create new words or change word classes, e.g., happy to happiness. Compounding, combining two or more words to form new expressions, e.g., toothbrush. Phonology. Phonology is the study of sound systems and patterns in language. In discourse analysis, phonological features can influence how messages are perceived and understood. Analysts focus on prosody, intonation, stress, and rhythm patterns that convey meaning and emotion. Phonemes, distinctive sound units that differentiate words. Phonological processes, changes in pronunciation that occur in connected speech, e.g., assimilation, elision. Semantics. Semantics is the study of meaning in language. Discourse analysts explore how words and sentences convey meaning and how these meanings contribute to the overall interpretation of discourse. Key areas include lexical semantics, the meanings of words and their relationships, e.g., synonyms, antonyms. Compositional semantics, how meanings of individual words combine to form the meaning of phrases and sentences. Semantic roles, the functions of entities within a sentence, e.g., agent, patient, experiencer. Pragmatics. Pragmatics focuses on how context influences the interpretation of meaning. In discourse analysis, pragmatic considerations are crucial for understanding how language is used in real-life situations. This includes speech acts, actions performed through language, e.g., promising, questioning, commanding. Deixis. Words and phrases that require contextual information to be understood, e.g., this, that, here, now. Implicature. Meanings implied by speakers but not explicitly stated. 2. Discourse structures. Cohesion. Cohesion refers to the linguistic devices that connect parts of a text or conversation, making it flow smoothly and logically. Discourse analysts identify cohesive elements such as reference, pronouns, and other referring expressions that link back to previously mentioned entities. Substitution and ellipsis, using alternative expressions or omitting parts of sentences to avoid repetition. Conjunctions, words and phrases that connect clauses and sentences, e.g., and, but, therefore. Lexical cohesion, repetition of words, synonyms, or related terms to create continuity. Coherence. Coherence is the overall sense of unity and meaning in a discourse. Unlike cohesion, which relies on explicit linguistic markers. Coherence is about the logical and meaningful connections perceived by the listener or reader. Analysts explore thematic structure, how topics and subtopics are organized and developed. Information structure, how given, known, and new information are presented and managed. Narrative structure, the organization of events and actions in storytelling. Conclusion. Understanding language structure in discourse analysis involves examining how linguistic elements at various levels work together to create meaning in communication. By analyzing syntax, morphology, phonology, semantics, and pragmatics, along with cohesive and coherent structures, discourse analysts can uncover the intricate ways in which language functions in different contexts. This comprehensive approach helps to reveal the complexities of human communication and the subtle mechanisms that make discourse effective and meaningful. Frequently asked questions. What is language structure in discourse analysis? Language structure in discourse analysis refers to the organization and patterning of linguistic elements to create meaning in communication. This involves examining syntax, morphology, phonology, semantics, and pragmatics to understand how these elements function within larger units of discourse, such as conversations and written texts. What is the role of syntax in discourse analysis? Syntax involves the rules that govern the arrangement of words in sentences. In discourse analysis, understanding syntactic structures helps analyze how different sentence constructions contribute to the coherence and flow of discourse. Analysts study sentence types, clause relations, and syntactic variation to understand how syntax affects communication. How does morphology contribute to discourse analysis? Morphology is the study of word formation and structure. Discourse analysts examine morphological elements to understand how words are created and used in context. This includes studying inflectional morphemes, derivational morphemes, and compounding to see how word formation affects meaning and communication. Why is phonology important in discourse analysis? Phonology is the study of sound systems and patterns in language. Phonological features, such as prosody, phonemes, and phonological processes, influence how messages are perceived and understood. Analysts focus on these aspects to understand how sound patterns contribute to the meaning and emotional impact of discourse. What aspects of semantics are analyzed in discourse analysis? Semantics is the study of meaning in language. Discourse analysts explore lexical semantics, word meanings and relationships, compositional semantics, how word meanings combine to form sentence meanings, and semantic roles, functions of entities within a sentence, to understand how meanings contribute to the overall interpretation of discourse. How does pragmatics relate to discourse analysis? Pragmatics focuses on how context influences the interpretation of meaning. In discourse analysis, pragmatic considerations are crucial for understanding how language is used in real-life situations. Analysts study speech acts, deixis, and implicature to understand how context affects communication and meaning. What is cohesion in discourse analysis? Cohesion refers to the linguistic devices that connect parts of a text or conversation, making it flow smoothly and logically. Discourse analysts identify cohesive elements such as reference, substitution and ellipsis, conjunctions, and lexical cohesion to see how these devices create continuity in discourse. How is coherence different from cohesion? While cohesion relies on explicit linguistic markers to connect parts of a discourse, coherence is about the logical and meaningful connections perceived by the listener or reader. Analysts explore thematic structure, information structure, and narrative structure to understand how coherence is achieved in discourse. What are the key components of discourse structures analyzed by discourse analysts? Discourse structures analyzed by discourse analysts include cohesion, reference, substitution and ellipsis, conjunctions, and lexical cohesion. Coherence, thematic structure, information structure, and narrative structure. These elements help understand how different parts of a discourse are logically and meaningfully connected. Why is understanding language structure important in discourse analysis? Understanding language structure is crucial because it reveals how linguistic elements at various levels work together to create meaning in communication. Analyzing syntax, morphology, phonology, semantics, pragmatics, cohesion, and coherence helps discourse analysts uncover the intricate ways language functions in different contexts, providing insights into the complexities of human communication and the mechanisms that make discourse effective and meaningful.